Welcome back, everyone, to the Puff Drink Talk podcast. Conrad here.
Hilton.
George.
Arthur.
Vern.
Vern. Welcome back, my friend.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
This episode started about racquetball.
Yeah. The unpredictability of the racquetball.
It's the most unpredictable ball.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
You never know where it's going to go.
So, Ron,
Vern,
tell us about 4 truths and 1 lie about you.
Well,
4 truths and 1 lie. Let's see if we can guess.
Well, my truths are, I really enjoy bowling just because that's just something I've done since I was a kid. My first teacher, she was an old lady with a raspy voice and always had a cigarette in her mouth. And
my grandma.
Yeah, exactly. I'm real big into family. I love my brothers, my girls, my wife. I'll do anything for them if they were to call and stuff like that. As far as like with work, I'm very dedicated to what I do. I am very. The thing that attracted me to the job that I'm doing now is the integrity. So it's truth in sales. It's a big thing for me. It's just being upfront, and I love helping people. Helping people achieve their dreams, whether it's through sales or even if they need help. Just if I have friends that just need help with something, if somebody needs help learning how to bowl, I'm there. If they need help with moving, I'm there, and stuff like that. So those are just kind of like 4 things that are probably a really core of my life.
Those are 4 the truth. I take that those are 4 truth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and then you want to lie?
Yeah, I thought you would say 5 things, and then we would try to guess which one is a lie.
Well, and then, I guess I didn't understand it quite. So, But you could throw another one in that I'm really dedicated to my sobriety.
Okay.
I've seen what my life was like beforehand and how I lived life in a circle. And as I got sober, how my life went into a straight line, and I started experiencing things.
When was it?
This is 22 years ago.
22 years ago.
Yeah, I've been sober for 22 years now.
Right.
And
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The thing that's great about it, and this is what I tell people that are even starting off, is that life doesn't change. It's your adjustment to life that does change. Because, I realized that probably about 3 or 4 or 5 years in sobriety. You sit there and you think if you put down the liquor, then, hey, everything's going to get grand and everything's going to be great. But life is the same. It's just how you deal with it. And I realized that growing up, I didn't have all the tools in the toolbox. And when I quit drinking, instead of going to a bar and telling the bartender all my problems, I started dealing with my problems and started, instead of taking the bad advice of a bartender, actually talking with people that were in my same situation. And getting answers and getting tools that I could use to cope with life, and that was a big thing for me.
Are bartenders psychologists?
Right? They're the cheap psychologists.
They're psychologists, but they're not good psychologists.
They want to keep you
Here,
drink.
have another one.
To keep you drink,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you need this. Boom,
I
and another one.
It was so bad that I used to have bartenders. I would sit there and I'd drink from the minute I got off work at like 5 o'clock. And I wouldn't stop until the bar closed. And they knew where I was getting loaded. And they would take the spills from, like if they spilt a beer bottle or anything like that, and they would fill them all up and they'd put them in the trough, and they would just give them to me at the end of the night. And, and by then, you're not drinking beer for taste.
Yeah.
You're drinking
just
to maintain.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing when people ask me, why don't you drink non-alcoholic beer? Because if you want to know what a trigger is, drink a non-alcoholic beer if you're an alcoholic. That will, it's like I'll drink it. I took a taste of one time, and it was like, no, because I didn't drink for taste. I drank for a purpose, and that purpose was to get loaded.
Yeah.
And when I drank a non-alcoholic beer, that the taste was just too much of a trigger where it makes you do it. And even after 22 years, you still think about that next drink. So and I know I sound cliche and stuff like that, but it is. It's a one day at a time thing. So
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, and you know what, Vern, you said it. I think your sobriety needs to be celebrated. Yeah, because like you said, it's a day at a time, and every day is either a struggle, but it's also a victory. You know, for 22 years to be victorious like that, that's a huge accomplishment.
yeah.
That's
Well, I
a very
appreciate
cool
that.
thing. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Well, you know, and you just look at it, and it's, you know, it's weird because when I first started this, I never looked at it as like I'm going to stop drinking for 22 years. It's definitely something you look at from the front back.
Right.
You can never look at it and go, okay, I'm going to quit drinking for 22 years. You can always look at it and go, you know what, today, and
One
then
more
I look
day.
back and I've been sober for 22 years. So.
Vern, can we talk about your bowling? Because
Yeah.
ironically enough, born in the Seattle area,
Mm-hmm.
but we moved down to Reno, and Reno has a dedicated bowling stadium.
Yes, it
that
is. I've bowled there before.
Yes, and when I was in the second grade, we actually took a field trip to the Circus Casino, and we went to the bowling alley because it's a giant stadium. Well, I mean,
Exactly. It's a bowling stadium that it rotates between hosting tournaments.
yes,
So one year it'll host the men's national tournament. Following year will be the women's national tournament. The year after that, and then it's like a mixed doubles or something like that.
yes,
And I mean, and it's back when I was in the bowling industry, it was a very, very a prestigious thing to do. I mean,
Yes.
it's still probably prestigious now, but it's just bowling is not what it used to be.
yes,
And so, but it was fun to go there because you would go and then you would bowl and then of course you'd gamble in Reno and stuff like that. Back then I used to average 200 and Jonathan used to average 220, and that's how we kind of knew each other, and we would go and bowl these tournaments all over the thing. I mean, and so Reno was one of them, and it was just always a challenge to go there because you go and you bowl on a sports shot. And what I mean by shot is that when you're in bowling, much like all these other sports, they make different oil patterns. And so with these oil patterns, you have to adjust to what the lane is. And so the thing is that in Reno, it was always different. Then I considered myself a house bowler because I would adjust to the shots that was done down here because they had to be different in Texas. And so that was what was fun about going up there, is going up there and measuring yourself against everybody else nationally. And I mean, I've had a couple of 300s. I've had a couple of 800s. I've got, back when I was drinking, I would always, if I wasn't bowling, I had a beer in my hand. And so I was always shooting 299s, 298s because I was nervous. And I didn't get my first 300 until I got sober.
really.
Yes.
I was just gonna ask, were you better sober or better when you were drinking?
I was better when I was drinking. I was more focused when I was sober. but I mean, it's a sport that I want to say, as a middle class person, and that it was great. At one time, it was like, I want to say the downfall of bowling happened when bowling was trying to get into the Olympics, and they didn't get accepted. And I really did think that the higher ups didn't do a real good job of promoting it. They ended up getting somebody like Mary Lou Retton to represent it. She's a gymnast, for Christ's sakes. I mean, why do we have that person representing bowling? You know? And so I just didn't feel like that they had, the leadership was promoting bowling the way it should have been. And then there was a lot of infighting in the industry. You had the people, the manufacturers of the bowling pins, fighting with the manufacturers of the bowling balls, who were fighting with the manufacturers of the oil, and there was no cohesive work together to try to promote our sport. So now it's kind of turned into a rec center kind of thing. It's, the companies like to do little offsites at bowling alleys, or the big thing is getting kids to go out and bowl at a place that has glow-in-the-dark pins or glow-in-the-dark bowling balls. And that sport and that entertainment and that challenge that you used to have, that just a common man had without having to put a whole lot of effort into it, it's just not there anymore. We bowl 2 leagues a week. We have fun, but it's still nothing like what I used to bowl back 20 years ago. I mean, we'd have 52 lane centers filled, five-man teams on each one of them, and we would be in brackets. And I mean, and if any cop wanted to come and bust people for illegal gambling, you go to a bowling alley, and that night, and there was just so much money changing hands.
And it's so funny because I vividly remember going on this field trip, and it was an off day, and I remember my teacher being like, yeah, because it was a big deal for Reno, there's casinos, there's mountains for skiing up in Tahoe, and then there's the bowling alley,
Right.
And it was just an off day, but it was 300 people packed, in the afternoon, and we got to see bowling, and as a kid, you're like, wow, look at all these, grown men, throwing that damn ball down the lane and hitting the pins. Like, it was an experience, and like you said, back then, 20 plus years ago, bowling was a sport, it was really popular, and then it just died.
Right. And the thing is that going to Reno, the thing that was great was going in there and just seeing your name and seeing the score on this big, huge scoreboard up above the lanes. And, it was great if you shot a good game, but if you shot a crappy game,
your name is up there.
You were kind of like somebody hit that button at the end.
Shame.
Get that off of there.
Shame.
Exactly. Everybody could see that you shot an 87.
Yeah.
By the way, getting a segue from that, I don't know how these scores work. Can you give me the rundown?
A perfect game is 300.
Okay, so how many?
That's 12 strikes in a row.
12 strikes, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And unless you're, what was it, in Kingpin, what was the bowling they did there? Amish bowling, that's at least.
Oh, I don't know.
The joke in that one was Amish bowling, where you scored 14 in a row to get a perfect game.
Okay.
But no, a 300 is a perfect game.
Okay.
A perfect series is 900, because that would be 3 games of 300.
Games and scoring 300.
And so, like I said, it's a big accomplishment when you throw 300s, 298s, 299s, because that means you've strung a whole lot in a row. Like a 290 is a spare and then off the sheet, which means you've shot the rest of the frames in a strike.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so the accomplishments are stuff like that. And then like even a series, like I've shot 2 800 series, which means, that's with a perfect series being 900, which has never been done. But when you shooting a good series, if you're up over 800, you're averaging about 270. So it really is it can be a very challenging sport, and that's the thing that was cool about it is that it was a challenging sport that if you back then they used to have bowling on Saturday afternoons, so you could watch it on TV, and it was actually one of those things that reached out to you that you'd watch it on TV and you go, hey, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And so you can go and do it, and it wouldn't take you long if you practiced and you did stuff like that. You could get up there, and you could average. I averaged at one time. I was averaging for a few years. I was averaging 200. Right now, I'd like to say I'm averaging significantly lower. I'm not going to tell you. But when you take 15 years off, you have to.
You don't want to see your name in the score. Right?
I'm not ready for Vegas or Reno yet. So, but it's still a fun thing, and I find that after all the years that I took off and picking up the sport again, that I like it. I like doing it, and and that kind of that old feeling and that old determination has come back.
My question is, what is this oil thing?
Okay, so
because I know balls and pins, but
yeah.
oil.
So what it is if you go to like some of the rec centers around town, they don't do what's oil conditioning. Now, as a mechanic, I used to set up patterns. So some of the patterns that you'll see are there's like a block pattern where they would block out the middle of the lane with a lot of oil and leave the ends, and then the skill is getting your ball to drift through the oil to the dry spot to get it to hook. Because if you're going to be a good bowler, that's the big thing, is having a hook on your ball, fingertip ball and stuff like that. And so there were different patterns where they would do, the middle was blocked, and that would be called a tapered pattern. Then you run over a pattern, and it was just the amount of oil that you would put in the middle of the lane, and then you taper off the oil to the edge.
So
of the
you'd
lane.
start your shot from, let's say, from the left side of the track, and then it crosses through the middle, and then it spins back into hitting the ball from right to left. And when we started the lane, it's left to right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So and that's a lot of what that was a lot of the skill in the bowling was finding the shot and being able to stay in the shot, because the other thing that's challenging about bowling is that it doesn't stay the same. So as you bowl it, it wears down.
Okay.
So you have to move. So you have to be able to make adjustments. And those are the things, the challenges with bowling is, one, when you're first starting off, is getting in a rhythm and being able to do the same thing over and over. And then two, adjusting to all the other people that were bowling on the same lane, because they're going to make – you may find an area in the first game that's a great shot and you're getting into what's called the pocket and you're striking or you're leaving good counts and stuff. And then by the second game, that shot's gone because everybody's been playing there. Because you're not the only one playing it. People play off of you, or you're playing off of somebody else.
Yeah,
very dynamic.
So it's pretty much like Formula One. The tires are wearing off every single lap.
I was about to say that.
And you're leaving rubber on the track.
Exactly.
So it's not that different.
I was about to say that you said, I think when you said it's a game of adjustments.
Yes.
I mean, isn't that every single sport? He played at this NCAA tennis.
Yeah.
So the third division. Isn't that about adjustment? The sports is about adjust?
Yeah. I think every sport's about adjustment. But it's nice because, like, I don't think I've ever thought that bowling had, like, this kind of secret. Yeah. Like, come on, my best bowling game was, like, a 187. Mm-hmm. So I'm not a good bowler. I've been bowling,
187 is a great score. Though.
I've been bowling, like, what, maybe less than 15 times in my whole life, So maybe like that day that I got a 187, I got like a 160 average on 3 games. I'm not a good bowler, like definitely not a good bowler. But it's nice that it has like the science behind it because I've never thought of it. Because from my perspective as a foreigner, when I got here, I went like through one of those 20 lane or like 40 lane bowling alleys.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's nobody here. There's literally like high school kids just like, sorry. Just like, having fun on a Saturday night, like I feel that it's missing that kind of sport feeling, like that competitive side.
And that's a lot of what's going on is the organization and the camaraderie. You just don't see that anymore. It's just like you said, it's more of a recreational thing now, and that's what's kind of disappointing about this sport is the fact that it's kind of morphed into that.
Yeah. Because I'm feeling like last times I went to bowling, it was literally like they were like trying to play with the lights. They were like trying to find ways to get people there that it is not because of the bowling itself. And I was like,
it's
what's
about
going
all
on,
tricks. And
I was literally, because I was just trying to bowl my best, and I couldn't see the pins because it was so dark, because it was like a glowing on something Saturday night. And I was like, come on, I just want to bowl like for the sport. So what'd you say it's missing? Like, what did you change to go back to the golden era of bowling?
Well, what I would do is and I've thought about this because in my golden years later, I've always thought about buying a bowling alley. I mean, one of the dreams I had was teaching bowling. But the thing is being able to go to people and giving them this option to become competitive in it and being more knowledgeable about it. And I would think that it's stuff like that. And then, I mean, getting stuff to where it's back on TV and popular, like I don't know if we'll ever get back to that. But like even in the movies, I mean, when you watch The Big Lebowski and you watch the Kingpin, I mean, I laughed a little harder than the next guy because I lived some of those things.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're trying to get out
it
of
resonates with you.
And trying to get out of a bowling alley because there was a bunch of guys that you just snookered into taking money from. And they're wanting to put your hand in a ball return. And I had one guy tell me, he says, okay, we just beat him. Vern, go out, start the car. So that we could get out of that bowling alley quick enough without them trying to come after us to beat our ass. Excuse my language.
Oh, look at that. It's like football or soccer in UK.
Yeah.
Right?
And then like sitting like in The Big Lebowski when they're sitting there talking about, Market 9 or something like that, how there were serious people like that were like, his toe was over the line, and relating to that, going, yep, every bowling alley had one of those guys that was dead fast about making sure that every rule was pushed on it. So
there's this thing that I call the age of some sports. I call it here the age of rackets. Remember that?
Can we Google it, like history on bowling?
Yeah.
Because then it might say something like what George is going to say.
No, it's just like the age of like when we refer to now we are living the age of rackets.
Yes.
Because now you have like beach tennis. We have tennis. We have racquetball. We have paddle.
yeah.
Paddle, right? We have pickleball. We have squash. Yeah, we have like.
Hilton,
But
we have so many
when I
sports.
think of stuff like that, I think of racquetball and I think of tennis and this pickleball crap that's coming out. I mean, I'm like, man, I understand this other stuff. I don't understand why we got to play pickleball. Why don't you just play tennis?
Can I
agree with you.
I would tell you. I would tell you why. Because
He's a
it's
tennis
impossible.
player.
Because it's impossible to play tennis. It's impossible to play tennis.
Yeah.
And people at the age of 5, people at the age of 80 can play pickleball.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
a
true.
more democratic sport than any other one that I know. Maybe Tai Chi Chuan, maybe something like this. You know, like you can play until you're 80. You can play until you're 85. So the population of America is gonna, you know, the population of over 65, it's gonna be over 100 million by 2045 now. So the population is getting older and older, and then we want people to play sports that hurt their knees, their backs, their hips, and so we have a sport that your shoulder is going to be fucked up maybe for a while, but everyone can play.
Well.
So I understand, like from the point of view of someone who watches the sports, we want to watch it Formula One, but how many people can drive a Formula One?
Yeah, nobody.
Well, I'll tell you
So
this:
expensive.
at 65, I'll be bowling. I'm not going to play pickleball.
Yeah, but that's
I do understand.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you know. Like I think it's
Yeah, the weight of the ball also in bowling, like you can get like a lighter ball.
Yeah, I mean,
You
I've had to change from bowling with a 16-pound bowling ball to 14, and that's just with my age. But the thing is that it's not all about how hard you throw the ball. That's the thing. It's not about how hard you throw the ball. It's about angles. It's about release. It's about rhythm. I mean, and the best sport that I can compare it to, one I'm good at and one I'm not, is golf. Because I've found that at golf, you have to do the same thing all the time, and you have to trust the club to do it. You have to trust the angles of the club, and you have to trust things like that. Well, it's the same way in bowling. There's some guys that are pros that have 10 bowling balls and know what each bowling ball will do. And they just throw the same ones over and over.
like the clubs.
Right, exactly. And so you have to, it's all about thinking. It does require thinking. And I'm sure pickleball and I mean, I used to love playing racquetball. You know, it's like I was saying earlier, I loved playing it. I just can't move and do the things I did before with racquetball because it was nice because you could play inside. There was air conditioning and stuff like that. You can't play tennis in Texas. So, you know.
You see, when I see
You can. You just get burned.
Yeah. You see, that's why when I see a WNBA game, women, right, people complain about, come on, man, you can hardly hold a basketball. You can hardly get into, and then you complain about a sport that just because women are playing, like I don't understand. When I see a WNBA game, it's much closer to the way I would play because I would be a center. I would be right there under the, like I'll be under the rim, like playing. It's way more similar to the way we play, and then we hate it. We hate it, but you don't. If you play against them, you're cooked.
Oh,
Yeah.
Any of us playing with any of this WNBA games will be cooked right away.
When I coached a basketball team at my church one time, and I played on it too, so I was a coach player, and I understood why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used to do the things late in his career, because I wasn't running up and down the court. I was staying on one end of the court, and then if the action was a little bit longer, then I might jog to the other end. But I was out there, and if you had like 4 runs up in the court, then I'm sitting there flagging. Sub.
Coach, call me. Oh, I'm the coach.
Get in there.
Boston Celtics.
Time.
Boston Celtics win in 2023, 2024, right? When they won it, they would score in 7 seconds. That's what we have to shoot the ball in 7 seconds. You have 24.
Yeah.
Then they would move so fast. Then have to go back fast too, because people know that you're going to score in 7 seconds.
Could you imagine being old and being told you need to score in 7 seconds? I'd be like, no, I'm not doing it.
Well, why do you think LeBron falls down so much?
yeah, that's true.
It's to rest.
Yeah.
Why is LeBron again in a super team? We can discuss that. Why is he in a super
Come on.
team? I call Ben and say, hey, Ben, look, are you a LeBron fan? He hates LeBron. Are you a LeBron? He's from Philly. So are you gonna, is LeBron your new idol? No, I'm not gonna root against him, But yeah, so those you know what? I don't blame him. I don't don't think Jordan or Kobe would ever do that, but who knows?
It was a different game in Jordan's era than it is in LeBron's era.
Yeah.
I remember I enjoyed watching NBA back then.
In the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, because watching Detroit just pummel Jordan. And him
Jordan rules.
Yeah, and working his way up to championships and stuff like that. And then, but watching now to where you can just go wherever you want, put everybody together, and then shoot the ball from outside and win a championship.
You can walk with the ball like 4 steps, 5 steps.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, they pick up the ball at half court and then just kind of walk it in to maybe mid-range jumper or try a layup, because.
And how about the trees? The rain of trees.
Yeah.
3 points, right?
Yeah.
It's the game. Anyway, every game has an adjustment. I liked it when you said that. Every game.
Yeah.
Has an adjustment.
Well, and that's the thing that I don't think they understand about bowling. Is that's the thing that I think gets missed out now. If there was any way to bring that sport back up, it's like everything. It's knowledge. It's getting people that are interested in sport, that want to do it again and want to get good at it, and don't want to do it as a recreation.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Well, Vern, thank you very much for enlightening us about bowling and the history of it, and all of your fun experiences. Because let's bring back bowling. Let's make bowling great again.
That's our next cap.
Mabubga, or whatever you want to call it.
I'll be the Trump of bowling.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
You take it, right?
You have my vote. Okay, Vern, you have my vote on that. Well, stay tuned for more podcasts from the
Vern
Puff
Ball.
Drink Talk.
Sorry, man.
No, that's fine.
Vern ball, right?
Vern ball.
Vern ball.
Yeah, we got pickleball. We can have Vern
sorry.
ball.
I had to say that, man. I had to say that.
It's all right. Stay tuned for more on the Puff Drink Talk podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Spotify. Thank you very much.